Hello, Tig. Woo, it's so exciting to be back here. We're going to explore the world of law enforcement and detecting deception. Does that sound good? How many people want to be able to know if someone is lying to you, personally, professionally? Yes? Yes, great. The best way to do this is not by body language, it's by words. So I'm going to bring both. Would you like to learn something called statement analysis, discovered by the FBI? Yes? Words with hidden meaning. So we can throw my deck up here. Jenna, is my deck up? All right, here we go. If only it was as easy as this, as Pinocchio's nose grows or the pants catch on fire, life would be a lot simpler. It's not that easy. But guess what? When you walk out of this next session right here with me, you're going to see and hear things differently than you've ever heard or seen before. It's going to get this easy. This is like locking your hotel door with one of these things. It's easy to break. It creates an illusion that you're safe, but these liars in your life are no longer going to be safe. We're going to turn it into a corn puff, what they're saying and what they're doing, so we know what the truth is behind the matter. I want you to look at this picture with squinty eyes. So you're going to look at this picture and squint your eyes just a little bit. And I want you to tell me, can you see something that you didn't see right away? What do you see? Squint your eyes, look at this picture. There's something there that you don't see when you first look at it. What is it? What is it? Not a car. No, what is it? There's a picture. No, squint your eyes. There's a picture of Jesus in this. So squint your eyes, look at it. If you have a phone, take a picture and look right on your phone. As you squint your eyes right here, you can't unsee it. That car right over here is actually Jesus' eye. Over here is Jesus' hair. Raise your hand if you see it. Look at all these people that are seeing it. Everyone else, if you don't see it, take a picture and you will see it on your phone when it's a little smaller. Just like you'll never look at this picture again and not see Jesus, the same thing's going to happen with what you learn here. You're not going to be able to unsee it once you see it and know what it is. Here's the deal. My background is I worked for the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, ATF. The alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. My dad said I'm his daughter who turned her hobbies into a career, drinking, smoking, and shooting. I don't do those things half as much as I used to in my 20s. And while I was with ATF, they taught me how to detect deception. I ended up going into ATF because at 16, a man tried to kidnap me. He tried to get me off my bike, and I got away by what I call the grace of God. And that guy was taking pictures of young girls. You look like you could be a model. Come to my house and I'll take pictures. And he was attacking these young women. And because I got away, I wanted to find out, how can we protect ourselves, our family, our friends, our finances from people like this, master manipulators, dangerous people, even dangerous people in our families and in our work environment. One of the things they taught me is something called statement analysis. I did a firearms trafficking investigation. That's my specialty, firearms trafficking. People getting guns at wholesale and selling them to bad guys out the door. I went into Sheridan, Connecticut, and I went into this guy. His name was Ralph. And as soon as I went in, I knew there was trouble. Number one, Ralph, when I walked in and said, Janine Driver, ATF, and showed my badge number 1177, his eyes really quickly darted over here on top of a file cabinet. And I thought, I wonder what's happening over there. Then he took a lot of deep sighs while he was talking to me. He was under a lot of stress fast. And here's what he said. I want you to look at this. How did I know immediately this guy is up to no good based on these statements? So look at this, talk to the person next to you, read this statement. I'll read it for you. I just keep the 4473s, those are the federal documents, where they're supposed to be in the back or whatever. As far as I know, they've all been filled out. Mike usually handles that part anyway. Then I checked the inventory, everything looked fine. Honestly, we've been caught up on paperwork for 3 days, since 3 days ago. The A&D book is right there on the shelf. That's the only one I use. I left around 7. I was with a couple guys before that, just routine customers. I never had anything to do with any of that other stuff. That's all I can say. What's suspicious about this? What do you think? Too many details, a lot of details here. All right, what else is suspicious here? What else? He's deflecting responsibility. That's a great one too. Great. Something else. Yes. I don't have anything to do with any of that other stuff. I don't have anything to do. Anybody else? See something else here? Yes. He's acting like a child who's in trouble, right? He's like over-talking himself. Because of these statements, guess what I did? I took the A&D books. He had several of them. I had him sign a form, and I took them back to my office and photocopied all of them. I stayed up till 2 in the morning photocopying. These are the books where they log the guns in when they get them from wholesalers and who they sell them to. So if we ever do a forward trace, if Ronald Reagan was shot, when he was shot, it goes back to these AD&D books. The wholesaler told it to Bob's wholesaler, Bob sold it to Ralph, Ralph sold it to this person is the shooter. So I photocopied all these books, and it was a game changer. Just like what you're going to learn right now is going to change your life. You can't unhear or unsee these words when we go through them. Here are all the hot spots, and I'll highlight them in my presentation. We're going to do the Kendrick shock effect, the McCabe deceptive movement. If you're following this case called Karen Reed murder trial in Massachusetts, we're going to talk about that briefly. Amber Heard, she's a real peach. Remember Amber? Right? So the disappearing act with Amber, and then Lance Armstrong, we're going old school, bringing Lance back in with what's he hiding? What's he hiding? First, everyone put your elbows out like this. If I walk in the stage and I do this, is this good news? No? Elbows out, shock is about. If you're taking notes on your phone or in a notebook, elbows out, shock is about. So when our elbows come out, it's either something bad happened or something good. I just won the game. Or I'm thinking and it's high level stress and our elbows come out. If you are talking to someone and you're going to get them the mortgage because you're working with EPM and they're the wholesaler you're working with, and you're working with them and you're talking to me, the homeowner, and I talk to you and I go, yeah, blah, 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 and then I do this. What did I just get away with? Often people will do this at the end of getting away with something because stress is high. So elbows out, shock is about. You may remember this if you follow anything about the Super Bowl, but there was a battle between these two rappers, a guy named Drake and a guy over here named Kendrick Lamar. Drake sues Kendrick Lamar just before the Super Bowl. So everyone thought there's no way Kendrick Lamar is going to sing this one song about Drake liking young girls. He's already in a lawsuit. People were standing up, watching the TV as it's getting closer and closer. Is he going to sing it? He teased us. He was part to sing it and then not to sing it. People were riveted. Is he going to sing it? And if he sings it, is he going to sing Drake's name? Watch what happens when people watched the Super Bowl halftime show with Kendrick Lamar. Stand by. Is my sound on back there, guys?
I'm on them tough. I'ma do my stuff. Why you trolling like a, ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor. Pop out the show. Certified Pokemon, I'm the running up the score. Hold me down the whole time, I know he got some hoe. Fully defro. Say Drake.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my God, he said his name! Oh my God!
Sometimes you gotta pop out and show. Certified boogeyman, I'm the one that up the score. Walking down the whole time, I know he got some hoe.
Yo!
And start bully defro. Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. If I ever go to cell block 1 to any that talk to him and they in love, just make sure you hide your little sister from him. They tell me Chubb's the only one that get your hand-me-downs. Party at the party playing with his nose down. Waka got a weird case, why I see around. Certified lover boy, certified.
What the
I'm on them tough.
Yo, he's on.
I'ma do my stuff. Why you trolling like a, ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor.
No way!
When you see someone's elbows out, there's shock about, there's something big dramatic happening when we see someone's elbows out. Let's bring Kevin Hart into the mix, who's coming up after me. You want to see Kevin on the screen? Let's watch Kevin here. Playing a game of Would You Rather.
Or a
You can
dog
do it.
that can. This
or
is so
dog
tough.
that can talk.
Would he rather have a clone of himself or a dog that talks? He's like, wow, the stress, the anxiety. You can't unsee the body language when it happens. This is now into the world of danger. Chris Watts. Chris Watts killed his pregnant wife, Shanann, and his 2 young daughters, Celeste and Bella, over in Colorado. A next door neighbor has a Ring camera, and it videotapes everything down that street. And the neighbor calls the cops and says, I have a video you might want to see. And he looks, the cops come, they bring Chris Watts on, the cameras are on, the police have given me permission to show this to you. And as Chris Watts is watching the camera in the middle of the night, God forbid your family member went missing, wouldn't you be riveted? Who came in, who left? You'd be looking right at the screen, right? Chris Watts is not. What does he do? He does this. He blades his body and he wants out of there. Fight and flight has kicked in. He later confessed to killing his pregnant wife and his 2 young daughters.
When we get everything back in, be easier to lug everything out there, all the tools that I had to bring in.
He was putting his wife, who he had already murdered, inside the truck. Inside the truck. We see this. 50% of the people here just scored, 50% of the people just lost. If you see body language that is different than their normal behavior, like this, your job is to ask what's in it for them. So you're going to just simply say, maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe I'm wrong here. Is there something you're excited about? Maybe I'm wrong here. Is there something you're surprised about? Maybe I'm wrong here. It's called the MIW formula. Maybe I'm wrong. I've given this to the CIA, the FBI, and corporate titans. You can use the same thing. You think someone's holding something back. You're trying to make sure they're qualified so you can get them the best loan for them based on their credit score. You're giving them information. Don't buy a new car while we're going through this process. Don't buy any big items. And you're reading their body language. Suspicious things happen. Ask, maybe I'm wrong here. And see what is it that they're holding back. Now, let's go over here to Jennifer McCabe. Jennifer McCabe is one of these people involved in the Karen Reed murder trial. If you're not following this over in Massachusetts, Karen Reed has now been tried a 2nd time because the first time the jury they had a draw. And what I'm going to show you is this clip. And in this clip, you're going to see Karen Reed, who's being charged with murdering her boyfriend, a Boston cop named John O'Keefe. And I don't think she did it. I think the Canton police are setting her up and that she's framed, in my expert opinion. And here you're going to hear the 911 call. I want you to tell me, what do you think is suspicious about the 911 call? That's number 1. Number 2, watch Jen McCabe on the left of the screen, and then the woman being charged with murder, the girlfriend of the dead person, John, her name is Karen Reed. Watch their body language and listen to the words.
Where's your emergency? Hello?
Yes, I'm sorry. Can you come to 34 Fairview Road in Houston?
34 Fairview?
Yes, there's a man unresponsive in the snow.
Okay. And what else?
He's gonna get here, okay?
Okay. What's going on? Is he face down?
We just flipped him over.
Okay. And who's that in the background? Is that someone related?
That's his girlfriend. His name is John O'Keefe.
Okay, how old is he?
John is 46 years old.
46. How long has he been outside?
I don't know. I don't know. He got out of the car and it could have been a couple of hours. Is he, Terry? Is he? I don't.
What did you see? What did you see? Jen McCabe on the left of the screen stuck her tongue out 3 times while listening. When we stick our tongue out, this is, I'm thinking I'm getting away with something, or I don't like what's happening here, or deep concentration. When I was a kid, I'm 55 next week, June 10th, if anyone wants a semi-edible arrangement. And when you're threading a needle, we used to have home ec. And you'd have to thread the needle in home ec, and you do what with your tongue? You stick your tongue out like this as you thread the needle. deep concentration, or someone thinks they got away with something. Oftentimes when we get liars, when they're talking to you and giving you their credit score or how much money they make, and they're giving you information, you might see tongue protrusions after they lied. So look for these tiny little, everyone do it. Look at the person next to you and I want you to say, I'm so happy you sat next to me. And then stick out your tongue for a second. Remember this guy? He's a real peach. He lied. I believe he lied at least, when this guy, Roger Goodell, this is Roger Goodell, this guy named Ray Rice is a football player. He sucker punched his fiance, knocked her out in an elevator over in Atlantic City. This guy, the head of the NFL, Roger Goodell, says, hey, obviously we didn't know how bad it was. Anytime someone says obviously when it's not obvious, that's suspicious. Obviously I make enough money to buy this $2 million house. How is it obvious, bro? I just met you. My sister said, she's here with me, she goes, you say bro a lot. And I know. She goes, you should do a TikTok. How to know that I'm a mother of 3 sons without saying I'm a mother of 3 sons. Right here, listen to Roger Goodell and watch that tongue protrusion come out. Look at this, right here, that tongue protrusion. This is Casey Anthony's mother. So this is the grandmother of little Kaylee Anthony that went missing and found that she was dead. When people came to search for Kaylee Anthony, do you know what the grandma said? Hey, George and I, my husband George and I, want to let everyone know it's not like she's out in the woods or anything. Don't waste your time looking out in the woods or anything. Where was Kaylee found? Out in the woods. Pay attention when people tell you things. When someone says to you, I want to let you know I'm not the kind of guy that's going to cheat on you. We say what we are, we don't say what we're not. Nixon said what? I'm not a crook. Imagine saying, I'm not the mother of 6 daughters. We tell people who we are. If someone says, hey, I want to let you know I'm not the kind of guy that's going to cheat on you, know what you should say, ladies or men? You say, great, because I'm not the kind of person that's like a Carrie Underwood song, that if you cheat on me, I'm going to key the side of that new truck you bought. I'm not that kind of person. Anyway, what do they have here at the Outback Steakhouse? What is it? What is the food? Pay attention when people tell you who they are not. When people tell you who they are not. Let's get into words, because words matter too. Words are critically important as we go into Amber Heard. Amber Heard. What is wrong with this picture?
And after you both returned to LA, do
you see that fake smile? You see that fake smile? She's like, fake picture, the fake freeze as she's getting her picture. Scam Central, right? Watch this. I want you to listen. What is wrong with Amber Heard's statement? This is where she had committed to getting money. She was going to get money from Johnny Depp. When she got this money, she said, I'm going to commit this money to help this nonprofit to help kids. I'm going to give every penny of it. And do you think she gave every penny of it? No. Listen to her language. What's wrong with this statement?
Wanted Mr. Depp's money.
Didn't get it, wasn't interested in it.
You wanted Mr. Depp's money.
Didn't get it, wasn't interested in it.
Talk to the person next to you. What's suspicious about this? What's missing? There's something missing. Talk to someone. Talk to the person next to you, behind you. Say hi. Nice to meet you. Hello. It's called interaction. Let's do it. What's missing? What is it? She didn't say I. If you're taking notes, liars drop the pronouns. So what did you do yesterday? Oh, I got up, I went to my run, then I went grocery shopping, called my ex-husband, went to the mall, got a massage. Where are the lies beginning? All of a sudden, those pronouns drop. Now, some people don't talk with pronouns ever on text messages. Went to the store, got the kids, see you later. That's fine, because that's the norm. That's the baseline in that situation. Does that make sense? We're looking for when the baseline changes and there's some type of shift. Now, that's suspicious to me. What's wrong with this sentence, all right? Which one am I lying on? I'm going to give you 2. If I said to you this morning, I woke up early, I went and brushed my teeth. I'm a big teeth brushing person in the morning. And then I talked to my sister. We have adjoining rooms about today's event. That's story 1. Story 2. I woke up this morning, I got a good night's sleep, I woke up this morning, I brushed my teeth in the morning. I'm a big toothbrushing person. Then I talked to my sister, Kerry, who's with me, to talk about today's show. Where's the lie? Story 1 or 2? Which one? Why 2? It is 2. A lot of ums, but there's something else. I want you to write this down. The truthful person says, and then. And then. And then I went and spoke to my sister, Kerry. And then. The second story, I dropped the N. And. I just said then. I got up, brushed my teeth, did this, then talked to my sister, Kerry. When and disappears and there's just a then, that then becomes a time machine. And it means they're leaving out a lot of stuff they don't want to tell you. They don't want to tell you. We see this with introductions. If I tell you a story, listen closely. I'm going to tell you something. Tell me what the story is. What am I not telling you here? But it's there, just like that Jesus picture is there. All right. I have a great relationship with my ex-husband. He lives 2 miles away. While I'm traveling, he's watching our 3 kids. And my ex-husband and I, thankfully, are good friends, and we help each other out all the time. Leaf likes to swim with the kids, too, when I'm not there. So that's great, because the pool's cold, and I don't like to swim when it's cold. Who's Leaf? Who's Leaf? But we are assuming it's my ex-husband. When this happens, and this happens to you all the time in the mortgage banking industry, when someone is talking and they don't introduce you with the title, I said, my husband, my husband, my husband, Leaf. I need to say, my husband, my husband, Leaf, my ex-husband. I need to give him the title. And if I don't, it means one thing. And if you're taking notes, write it down. Relationship strife. When someone drops the title. I had 4 speaking events this week. I was traveling all over the place. My sister's with me, Kerry, she's my younger sister. We're in the back of this car. They're taking us an hour and a half. We were over in Arkansas. The driver is talking about his ex-wife. Oh, we were high school sweethearts. We did this. We have 4 kids, blah, blah, blah. My ex-wife and I, and then my ex-wife cheated on me, and my ex-wife. And then he said, Jennifer is getting on my nerves recently. Who's Jennifer? So he doesn't even have to tell me she's getting on his nerves because he dropped the introduction. He didn't say, Jennifer, my ex-wife, is getting on my nerves. Because I don't know who she is, I know there's strife. I did a class. It's a train the trainer class on how to tell if people are lying. It's 3 days. This was years ago. And I put a woman on the stage right here, and everyone was looking at her, and I had her tell me 2 stories, one that's true and one that's a lie. One that's true and one that's a lie. Then the truthful story, she's saying whatever. And the other story, I don't know if it's a lie or not, she's saying whatever. But I asked her a question. Here's the story that I asked a question about. She said this. She said, we were in a Spanish-speaking country, my husband and I, with our 2 kids. We went horseback riding along a mountain edge. My husband is in the front with the person who's leading the whole ride. I'm in the back, so we make sure we have the kids taken care of. All of a sudden, it starts pouring rain, and there's thunder and lightning. And on this path, we have to turn around. So now we're opposite. So my husband is on one side, and I'm on the other side when we turn around. I speak Spanish. My husband doesn't speak Spanish. So it's a Spanish-speaking country. There's a big explosion. Boom! My husband then takes the kids back to the room, and I said, I'll go find out what happened. Someone had been hit by lightning and died. And while she's finding it out, she said, and Tripp made sure the kids didn't know anything that was going on. Who's Tripp? But she didn't tell us that, right? So I looked at her on a stage in front of tons of people, and I go, excuse me, are you and your husband having some relationship trouble? Are you having strife? And had you been there, you would have seen her burst out crying. She said, I'm here because he's been cheating on me for 2 years, and I'm taking this class to find out, how did I miss it? How did I miss it? I thought he was my forever person. That's why I'm here. That's what happens when someone drops the introduction. My sister. Oh, Kerry and I, we're getting out early today because we're flying back to Boston. Who's Kerry? That means Kerry and I are having some type of strife. You got it? Yes? Ready to move on? Yes? Great.
Wanted Mr. Duff's money.
Didn't get it, wasn't interested in it.
You wanted Mr. Duff's money.
Drops that pronoun. Now let's listen to Johnny
Didn't get
Depp.
it, wasn't it?
Here's Johnny.
But never did I myself reach the point of striking Miss Heard in any way, nor have I ever struck any woman.
Why do I believe him?
In my life.
Why? He said what?
And so
He said I. He said I. I never struck. And by the way, liars like to do something called minimizing. I would never hurt a woman. I would never lay my hands on a woman. These are deceptive lies. When I say you punched my sister in the face, well, I want someone to say, no, I didn't punch your sister in the face. Your sister's a liar. That's what a truthful person would say. I didn't do it. People, our brains don't want us to lie. So it's not easy for someone to say, I didn't do it. I didn't do it, that person's a liar. You know what they'll say? That person's not telling the truth. I didn't harm that person. I didn't harm that person. Michael Jackson was asked, did you do this stuff to these kids? He said, I would never hurt a kid. He didn't say what? I didn't do and list the things that he was being accused of. Does it mean that the person is guilty? No. But it means there's more to the story. This is where you focus your conversation and investigation when working with people. Remember this guy? He's still around. He said this, sorry I was unreachable tonight. I just got about 3 of your missed phone calls. Mark Zuckerberg was originally hired by the Winklevoss twins to create something similar to Facebook. He started dodging the Winklevoss twins' phone calls. Liars, if you're taking a note, liars love the number 3. They love it. There's 3 blind mice, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Liars love 3. I was only 3 minutes late. I only cheated on you 3 times. I only have 3 unpaid bills on my credit report. You're going to see I only have 3 bad dings on my credit report. I've only been at this job for 3 years. 3, 3, 3. Now, I'm the oldest of 3 kids, and I have 3 kids, so every time I say it, I like cringe a little, because truthful people, of course, say 3 too. Pay attention, though, when someone suddenly says 3. That's interesting. Everybody go, huh, that's interesting. That's what you're going to do in those moments. That's interesting. This woman, another real peach, remember her? Casey Anthony, she's out there living large, being an entrepreneur or something these days. Her daughter, Kaylee Anthony, gets killed. I think if Casey Anthony was heavy and had 1 tooth hanging on in her mouth, she'd probably be in jail today. But we look at her and she's fit and beautiful, and we're like, we can't see a monster here. Casey Anthony was asked, because when she went missing, she took her mother's car, and the mother, the grandmother that we saw earlier with her tongue out, Cindy Anthony, called the 911 and said, my granddaughter is missing. My daughter's been gone for a couple months. My granddaughter's missing, and it smells like there was a dead body in the trunk of the damn car. When police asked Casey Anthony, what's up with the smell in the car, do you know what Casey said? She said that, dead squirrels climbed up into my engine and died. What's wrong with this statement? Can dead squirrels climb, bro? Right? What, dead squirrels? Are they zombie squirrels? You know? But guess what our brain does? Our brain wants to like people. So our brain says, oh, what she meant is a squirrel died in the trunk. Stop rewriting what people are telling you. Pay attention. The truth is being leaked out. I'm not the kind of person that would cheat on you. What are they saying? Right? Be careful. Offering evidence before it's asked is suspicious. So right here, do not rewrite what she's telling you. How could dead squirrels reclimb your engine? Now let's look at Lance Armstrong. Lance Armstrong in a text. This is before he did that Oprah interview where he came out saying he was taking steroids and cheated in a sport no one cared about at the time. Cycling. I don't know where you're from, but in Boston, growing up as a kid in the 80s, I don't remember my mother and father saying, hey, get the kids to quiet down. We're watching 16 hours of cycling today. It wasn't happening. So here's the sport that he puts on the map, but then kind of gives it a black eye. How did I know he was not going to be forthright and truthful with Oprah? What happened here? Look at that statement. In a text to the AP Press, Armstrong said, I told Winfrey to go wherever she wants. I'll answer her questions open, honest, and candid. That's all I can say. What's the hot spot? What's the hot spot? That's all I can say indicates they're not going to say something else. I would say, great, what can't you say? Hey, all I know is this. Great, what don't you know? All I know is I have a great credit score. Huh, what don't you know? Oh, I don't know about my husband's credit score. Hey, what I can tell you is this. Great, what can't you tell me? What I can tell you is this. My ability to put a down payment on this is easy. I got the money easy. That's what I can tell you. Great, what can't you tell me? What can't you tell me? Pay attention to this language right here. They're telling you there's more to the story. Right here, this is what you say. You can take a picture of this. I sense there's more to this. What else can you share? So when someone says this incomplete disclosure, you say, I sense there's more to this. What else can you share? I have a new podcast, if you want to watch it, over on YouTube right here called In the Driver's Seat with Janine Driver, where you can get some more tips. As we put this all together and get ready to bring out Kevin Hart, I want you to look at this statement one more time. Now that we've done this, what is it that was happening? What is it that was happening? Here's what's happening right here. These are all the hot spots. Just if you're taking notes, is a minimizing word. I just left a meeting. The person is telling you, I don't want you to know there's something happening in that meeting. Left equals strife. I just left. They're telling you, I don't want you to know there's a lot of problems here. Just left. Left is strife. As far as I know, Mike usually handles this. Look at this, minimizing word. Used to make the action seem routine when someone says just. As far as I know, they've all been there. So we say more than we think with our word choices. Look at all of these. Over assertion, only one I use. When we spot the words that have hidden meaning, the game changes. And as I say my goodbye, I want to remind you that there's more right in front of us. If we just squint our eyes and take a pause, maybe you'll see it. And here's what happened at that gun dealer shop. 2 days after I was there, the shop blew up, lit on fire, and all the records were burnt except for what? Except for my photocopies. And when I was in court and I brought out all my photocopies, the owner, Ralph, was shocked. He forgot that he had signed that form under duress because he forgot he signed it. And boom, we arrested him for not only arson, but he was selling guns to gangbangers in Connecticut, and we had all the proof we needed. You have everything you need now to make smarter decisions, personally and professionally. I want to say thank you so much. My name's Janine Driver. Have a good day, everybody. Enjoy Kevin. Bye. Thank you. Thank you.